What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Kyle Smith, Arizona drummer here, and we are here with Behind the Kit, episode 14. Can you believe it? And today's guest is none other than Mr. Matt Horn. Now, we all know him as YouTube's drum tech, but he's also been a touring drummer in our industry. He is a good friend of mine for the last 20 years. And again, you can find him on YouTube doing the best POV behind the scenes videos of what it's like to be a real drum tech in our industry. Matt's videos are fun, entertaining, and informative, and he has probably one of the best Patreons out there. Now guys, you do not want to miss this interview. In this interview, Matt and I sit down together in person and talk about what it's like to be a drum tech for some of the biggest drummers in the world, touring the world with your friends, what it's like to have perseverance in the face of challenges, and what it takes to chase your dreams. This is one you really do not want to miss. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Kyle Smith here, Arizona drummer, and we have a really special episode of Behind the Kit. This one is in person with my good friend here, Matt Horn. Welcome to the channel.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me, man.
Of course. Now, I think that I speak for everybody watching, but you are YouTube's drum tech.
I am now. Yeah. I became that guy.
Yeah.
Total accident, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, before we get into that, because we could talk so much, I think, about just drum teching and how you built your channel and just your experience with that, I think we got to go all the way back to the beginning. At your core, you love drums.
Yeah.
So where did that start?
It's a funny story, actually, like how I ended up playing the drums at all. Like, I was in 6th grade and like the band teacher came in early in the year and was like, you know, introducing us all to like, hey, we have a music class. If you guys are interested in music, you should do this. And he was talking about all the scholarships you could get with like wind instruments and trombone, especially. He was like really going hard on the trombone. But I knew my dad had played the clarinet in school. That's all I knew. So I was like, I think I'm going to play clarinet like my dad. Yeah. So I filled out the permission slip. And then for some reason, my dad was home in the morning before I went to school. He would usually leave like at 4 a.m. So he was at the breakfast table and I was like, hey, can you sign this for me? I want to join band. And he's like, oh, cool. What are you going to play? And I was like, I'm going to play the clarinet like you. Yeah. And he like he was just like, what the hell, dude? He's like, what? He's like, don't play that. He's like, I hated the clarinet. He's like, play something cool like the drums. And he just crossed out clarinet and put drums on my permission slip, signed it, and then here we are now, you know? Yeah. So that was like, yeah, the beginning of it. That's how it started.
That's so cool. So, and you mentioned before we got going, just over 20 years playing the instrument.
Yeah, I started in 2000. Actually, so I'm coming up on 25 years in September, actually. Yeah, I got my first kit my, I think, 11th birthday. Whoa.
Yeah.
These last couple of years I've been touring so hard, I totally forgot. Last I was paying attention was 20 years, but it's 25. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I started in 99, right after I got my hands on Slipknot's self-titled album. Okay. And that was it.
That was it.
You hear Joey and you're like, okay. Like,
see, I didn't even get into Slipknot till so much later. It was like, it was straight up too heavy for me when I first heard it. I was like, this is insane. Like my first CD I ever got was Hanson. Hanson, Space Jam soundtrack, Spice Girls, when I was like really young, before I even could tell you what a drum set was probably. But
it's funny you mentioned that. So when I first started, you know, I played guitar first, and because my uncle played guitar kind of similarly, and he now he's been playing 70 years, but he was like, hey, you should try guitar, you know, trying to get me to do it. I have really small hands, so like that was never going to happen, and I can't move them like that. Like it's just not in my cards. And I tried, and I was like, this isn't for me. But my mom would always see me, you know, tapping and getting into music. And she's like, you should try drums. And so I'm like, okay, you know, what kid doesn't want to beat the shit out of?
Damn, your mom suggested the most loud instrument ever invented. That's crazy.
Which I'm not gonna lie to you, growing up, it was my bedroom shared a wall with our family room.
Okay.
And I get rid of the bed, get rid of all the dressers, just drums. And I would like sleep on the couch. And so whenever I want to practice, it would just, while they're watching TV or playing, it's just the whole time.
I got lucky as a kid. Like, I grew up on a ranch. My dad's a horse trainer. And so we have like a big plot of land way out in the desert. And we had like a guest house situation. There was no kitchen in it or separate. It was like a big room and a bathroom. But it was separate from the house. You had to like walk outside to get to it. So as soon as I got more serious with the drums, my parents were like, you should just move in there so you can play whenever. And like, yeah, I would be playing drums until like 3, 4 in the morning sometimes, and they would never say anything. They just let me have it, you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, just for those of you who aren't aware, Matt and I are both Arizona boys. Were you born and raised here?
I was born in Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. Okay. When did you come here?
I was like 3 or 4. So going back to my dad being a horse trainer, he was like, he's from Australia actually. And so he moved here to apprentice with a guy, and he was kind of hopping around when I was born. So he was like following this dude around. We were in Louisiana for a little bit, Florida, and then settled in Gilbert at the time.
Nice. Yeah. I remember because when you were doing the Australia vlogs, you had some family.
Yeah. My uncle and aunt. Yeah, I hadn't seen them in 20 years, 21 years. So it was really cool to like come back and be like, welcome to my office. It's a fucking huge arena with like fire everywhere, and there's 20,000 people. It's sold out, and I'm like,
this is what I do.
Yeah, this is what I do now. And they just thought it was the coolest shit they've ever seen, man. They were like blown away by it. And they've never heard anything like Falling in Reverse at the time. Like, they're like, they listen to old school music. So I was like, it's going to be intense.
Yeah.
It's going to be really intense, but it's a great show. You'll just enjoy it visually, if anything. But they loved it. They're still talking about it.
That's so
to this day. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm originally from Germany, actually.
Okay.
I was born in Munich, but München. And then when I was 6, we moved here.
Okay.
And I was in Mesa for most of my life, and then I did Gilbert and I mean everywhere. I've been everywhere. I'm in Phoenix now, but and it's one of those things where it's like small world in the sense that we're both Arizona boys.
Yeah. And we played some shows together.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting to. So no, but you're right. So we played shows together back in it might have been even as old as 2009.
That would have been like around the time I started playing in bands.
Like the Clubhouse days.
Yeah.
And what am I thinking of? I mean, we did I think we even played the Marquee together.
Maybe. I played for a band called Sharks Never Sleep there one time. Maybe another time with a band called Sleepwalker. I can't remember. But yeah, I do remember that. There is a privated vlog on my YouTube channel of that show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I started vlogging way back. But it didn't, nothing ever happened with it. But yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, we did. So back in the early 2000s, I mean, I guess late 2000s, early 2010s, metal, specifically here, was like really, really popular.
Yeah, it was popping.
Yeah, and there were dozens of bands. Everybody was in more than one band. And if not, like a band would break up and then a super group would come out of that band. Because I remember you were in the Rendering, and then, what is it, City in the Sea?
Yeah, well, I went from a band called The Ivy, which is like a pop punk band, and then that band turned into Sleepwalker, and then I started filling in for the Rendering. Yeah. And then I left Sleepwalker and joined the Rendering because it was sick as hell.
Yeah.
The music was so heavy. I was like, this is badass. I'm playing for this band now. And then through them, I met the guys in City and the Sea, and that's when I got hit up for that one. And that was like my first experience with like a signed band, you know, at least touring for them, because I'd already cut the We're Live second album at this point. But yeah, so that was like my first experience like really touring was then. And it was like the slums of touring, the very beginning.
Yeah, the vans, and you're playing to 12 people in a shitty bar that smells like piss.
Yeah, you're basically paying to tour at that time. Yeah.
It's insane.
It's really rough.
And those guys, I mean, Nick Rossi now is in Born of Osiris.
Born of Osiris, he's a real estate agent.
I know, isn't it?
I saw that coming. I was like, this dude's gonna get a good job eventually, you know.
Yeah.
Then Dan's got his own band now. I'm not sure what he's up to outside of that. I haven't talked to any of these guys in a long time.
Yeah, me neither.
But yeah. So I went from City in the Sea. We were signed to Sumerian. I did like a year of touring with them, and I even signed a contract with them. I was hammered drunk. This was like early on in touring, and I was, partying, and we were on this hardcore tour, and it was going real bad for us because we were like cinematic metal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was a bunch of hardcore bands and us, and every night the crowd fucking hated us, and it was so uncomfortable, and we're already having a bad time because we're broke and hungry. So Asking Alexandria, Seven Dust, and Mirror were having a tour at this time. And for today. And Amir dropped off. So we hit up, his name's Sean Keith. We hit him up and we're like, hey man, we're having a terrible time on this tour. And we heard Amir dropped off and we're like one state away. Is there any way we can get on this tour? And he's like, made it happen. So we joined up with that tour, and it was like my first time playing to like a massive crowd, like probably 2,000, 2,500. And I was like on cloud nine. We were like stealing beers out of the back of this venue and like getting hammered. And then I was like, give me a contract. And like, I signed the contract. And then when the band started disbanding, I hit up Nick and I'm like, yo, do you still have that contract? Have you sent it in? He's like, I haven't sent it in. I was like, burn that thing to the ground now. And thank God he did.
Yeah.
But
yeah, guys, that is one of those things where it's like it can be a flash in the pan. It's like the band was there, killed it, and then just
dissipated.
Yeah, as soon as it was there, it was gone.
We were all super young, man.
Yeah.
Me and Dan were the oldest. I think I was like 23. He was also 22 or 23, and the rest of the guys were like 20.
Yeah.
So it was just like debauchery all the time. It was just me and Dan babysitting everybody.
Well, it's funny because like, I don't know if you remember the band or not, but I was in A Distant Calm for a long time. I was the original drummer of the band, then Jared Fron, who's now with Bless the Fall.
Okay.
I mean, we've been buddies ever since, but he took over when I had to quit to go focus on my daughter and building a life. But yeah, that was kind of the big one that went off and toured and stuff. But I played in bands like Charybdis. This was like way back. This was like 2007, 2006. And it's funny, I tell the story all the time. I'm like being 12 years old, going in through the bar, through the back, because you can't go in the bar and play your little metal show and then they kick you out to go back out.
Exactly, yeah.
It's just, for everybody watching, nobody's going to get any of the stuff we're talking about.
No, none of the bands we're talking about or anything.
But it was just a blast.
The vibe was good, man. Like, to put it in perspective for everybody out there, this is when like Job for a Cowboy blew up, and like Knights of the Abyss were like killing it.
Yeah.
Scaring Kids maybe like a little bit before that. Yeah. So like death metal was huge in Arizona at the time, and just everybody was into it. And this is like something I preach to people on YouTube because I get asked all the time how I got into this career and like this life and stuff. And it's because I was around in the local scene. Yeah. That's the only way, because I met someone and made a good impression, and I ended up doing ventures with them down the road, and then that led me to other people, and that's like the only way.
And it's funny because, up until this point, some of the conversations we've had have been specific to, getting the gig and keeping the gig and all those different pieces, but the common theme is, again, it's you have to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You have to do the work. You have to network. Even if you don't want to call it network, you just have to be willing to build relationships.
Hang out.
Yeah.
Say what's up. If you see someone and you recognize them, say what up. Like, you don't have to be weird about it. Be like, hi, I'm Matt. I drum tech for Falling in Reverse. Yeah. Like, it's just like,
can I drum tech for you?
Yeah. Just be like, what up? Like, when who did I meet? Oh, Adam Gray. I met him the other day. Yeah. He was at a festival, and I was just like, hey, you Adam? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, what's up, dude? I'm Luke's tech. And it's just easy as that. Yeah. Like, that's all it had to be. It was just a quick hello, and then like, boom. Okay, no. Yeah.
I can't remember who said this.
You guys knows I'm not weird now,
Yeah. Yeah, he's not like, I wonder if Matt's a freak. But it was Anthony Gazelle. He was like, the minute you realize that other drummers, regardless of who they are, or any musician, are just coworkers, like that's what it is. Like, we're all here doing the same thing. We're trying to make music. And honestly, just connect with the fans. Like that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. It doesn't matter if you're the tech setting up the drums, the drummer playing the drums, the guy working pyro, like
Yeah.
we're all just trying to put
The
on a good
manager
show.
sitting in the back
Yeah.
office on a computer all day, like,
Not tearing up your contract or
yeah, doing that, saving your life.
and it's funny because talking about connections, even so we're going to talk a lot about YouTube. We'll get to that in just a second, but I rediscovered you through YouTube because we knew each other again way back, and then I kind of had to step away from everything. And I remember watching the tour with Disturbed, and that's how I found out about David Nestor. And then him and I have become really good friends, and like it's just that way, like you can put yourself out there, you make connections, and what's great about our industry specifically, and drummers, I think, maybe uniquely, is that we all want to support each other. We all want to learn from each other, hang out, become buddies. And like, that's been the coolest part of this whole series is like, I was kind of in my little room doing my covers and having fun. But now that I'm been out there touring and I've been out there doing this series, like just making friends with all these guys has been like the best part of all of it.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so like for you, obviously, and we'll get into the YouTube piece of it, but like getting to be the drum tech for Falling in Reverse, I think really starts all the way back with the Word Alive and working with Luke and things like that. So maybe walk us through kind of that experience.
Okay. So I mentioned a band called Sharks Never Sleep earlier. And one of those members was this guy, Dan Shapiro, who eventually ended up playing bass for the Word Alive. So I was in a band with him, and he's great musician. Like he's one of the can play everything good type of guy. But he's a front of house engineer now for bigger acts. But anyways, so I met him, and then he joined the Word Alive, and then Justin Salinas, the drummer at the time for the Word Alive, quit right before they went into the studio. So Dan was basically like, "Hey, I know this guy from back home that rips. Like we should get him on the record." And then they gave me a shot. And I remember I met up with Tony Pizzuti. He's the guitar player. He plays for Sleeping with Sirens now. But me and him met up in a space like this. Like I can't remember what the name of the practice area was, but we met up there, and he just showed me a bunch of demos on like his old MacBook and stuff. And we tried to jam them in a room, like trying to jam like syncopated rhythms and metal songs together when I'm already so nervous because I'm like, holy shit, like I'm about to like cut a record for a real band. This is insane. So I'm already nervous. Did terrible. Did absolutely terrible. Tony to this day will tell you that I did great, but I did so bad. Like I'm surprised they trusted me at this point. I think they was just down to the wire, and they were like, well,
they're like, regardless,
we can cut and paste. Figure it out. Yeah. So it was like the night before we left. So I brought my drums there and everything. And then at the end of it, they picked me up in the van trailer, and we drove all the way to Joey Sturgis' studio in Indiana, his original studio, the small one. And the whole way there, I just had them send me the WAV files of the songs, and I just sat in the back of the van and just listened to them for 12 hours. Just over. It was 22 songs. Over and over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
and then I got to the studio, and I think I did pretty well there. Luckily studio magic is a thing. Like what you're hearing on there is not completely me. But
there's some embellishment.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I cut that record. They asked me to join the band. I had a girlfriend at the time, and she somehow talked me out of it. But I mean, think for good reason, because eventually through the Word Alive, Luke joined right after I did this record. And then he had his own drum tech for a little bit. And then Warped Tour 2014, he hit me up and was like, hey, I don't have a drum tech for Warped Tour. I was wondering if you'd be interested. And I was like, okay. I was like, maybe, because at the time I was working at Barrow's Pizza, and I had just started like a management position. So I was like, do I want to keep doing this? This is after sitting in the sea and bumming it and being just poor all the time. And like, I was like, I don't know, because I have this opportunity that will guarantee me a good life, or I could take this really big risk, and who fucking knows what's going to happen. So my grandma from Australia was in town at the time, and I asked her opinion on it, and she's like, basically, like, you're going to regret. Like, sure, you might have a good life, but you're going to have to live with the regret of what if. Like, you're going to have to think about that forever. She's like, you're going to see all your friends doing it, and you're going to be back here. So I was like, fuck it. I was like, I want to do it. I'm like, hell yeah, coming, man. So I drove to his practice spot in Phoenix, and I had no idea what to do as a drum tech. All I've ever seen a drum tech do is, a line check, from seeing at shows. So I was like, 2014 YouTube is popping, but it's not like that specific yet to where you can be like a drum tech. There's nothing on there at the time. So I was like,
it was more like Cat plays drums.
Yeah, exactly. Cat plays fucking System of Down or something, like whatever. Another Aerials cover. Yeah. But so in my head, I was like, well, what would I do for myself? Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm gonna take a tape measure. I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures with my phone, and I just measured everything, just literally everything, like the bottom of the stand to the top of the snare rim in the front, in the back, how far the snare rim is to the top rim of the rack tom, literally everything. I had this whole kit spec'd out, like completely. Probably overdid it. Now I know I overdid it. Like it's not that much of a science, but so I did 2014 with Luke for $300 a week, a whole tour. Thought I was killing it compared to the rest of my touring experiences. And I was just like, this is awesome. Warped Tour was amazing. Yeah. I was real green, and I got thrown into the fire, dude.
Yeah, especially on a tour like that.
Road dogs, man. I'm talking the whole tattooed body, completely sunburnt, tan skin, just like road dogs just calling me out on my bullshit if I fucked up. And it was like, I just got thrown into the ringer and I had to figure it out. But I grew up on a farm, so I already have a good work ethic instilled in me, and I'm a very good listener. And if I fuck up one time, it ain't happening again. It'll never happen again. So, and that's something that's really important in the tech world. Like, if you have one mistake, like, you never know how your artist is going to react to that. Like, for example, like a guitar tech, I was talking to a few of them the other day at catering, and they were telling stories about how like they messed up on these big gigs and stuff. And every single one of us have the same thought: going home. Yeah, going home. Aisle. Give me an aisle seat is like the saying. Like, put me in the aisle on an airplane. But usually they're cool, but you never know. Yeah. Like, you don't know what's going on in the artist's life. You could be having a bad day already. You hand them an out-of-tune guitar, or a cymbal falls over, and it could be like detrimental to them in that moment. So it's like, so that comes into play a lot. Yeah. Because you mess up once, it could really be a big deal, or it couldn't. You never know. And if it's a big deal, even if it's not, you're just like, I'm not having that happen again. Because you go to bed in your bunk that night and you have a nightmare about it happening again, and you're like, that ain't happening again. So it's not that scary though. Yeah. Like it's not that scary. Musicians are chill for the most part. Yeah, just nightmares, PTSD.
Yeah, just up all night. But to your point, sometimes the best way to learn this stuff is just do it.
Do it and fuck up. Yeah. I tell people all the time, like, they're like, I don't want to learn how to tune like you and stuff. And I'm like, bro, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm just like, you got to fuck up a bunch. You got to mess up. And can I cuss?
Yeah, okay. Go for it.
You got to mess up a bunch, because if you don't mess up, then you don't know how to fix problems. Yeah.
Which, when you really boil it down, like, that's the most crucial part. Yeah. Is like, what happens if everything goes right?
You're not going to learn anything.
Yeah, you're like, cool, I had a good show, we can move on. But it's when the things go wrong that you have to jump in and get, I remember a little bit of a different situation with like the pyro stuff from the video where Luke was getting burned, and, and obviously not a lot you can do in that situation.
Yeah, that's out of my league. That's the whole.
But like, that's a good example of like, you took that down, you made sure that doesn't happen again. Like, it's
now I have an extra routine added to mine now, because the story behind that, like, I'm not going to give names out or any companies like that, but like, we had some new people and we had some new units, and none of us were aware of this. Yeah. So like, when I went back and watched that video, those units are really close to his drum riser, but I'm thinking they're just regular arena flames. It's a really thin streak of fire, and it shoots straight up, and it's also isopropyl alcohol. It's not propane. These new units were propane, and they're much bigger flame. Like, arena flame, probably like that.
Yeah, and it's burning up something.
Yeah, exactly.
Propane is like...
Yeah, it's a plume, and it's like much bigger. So none of us knew that going into it. And like, also at that time, we were doing, me and Chris, our stage left guitar tech, were doing like this battle drum thing. So we would come out and play the battle drum. So I'm not with Luke during that part, during that time, or part of the show.
Yeah, there's nothing you could even do.
Yeah, I had no idea what was happening. Literally no idea until I, took my little costume off, got the drums off, and I came back around like halfway into the next song. And then he's like, yo, tell him to turn it down. And I'm just like, oh shit, what's going on? He's like, bro, I'm getting burned. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like on the talkback, I'm like, yo, chill.
Yeah.
We need to chill. And then, yeah, so they chilled it out after that. But I mean, that damage had already been done. So
it's just crazy. And I remember seeing, I want to say it's Gabe Helguera's, some of his videos where like they're putting pyro on and like, he's like, it was the most recent one where it was like the end of the song, I think it was Choke. And like, it's like, and he's like, oh my God, I'm in a war zone.
yeah, he's like, this is too hot.
Yeah.
But that's what I do now is like, every time we set up, like especially festivals, like we just did a European run and it was like basic, like festival based. And a few of those shows we were headlining and a few we were direct support. Like we did one with Guns N' Roses and they have seniority over the stage, so we have to push forward and we have all that fire that kind of gets condensed. Yeah. And then we did some with Slipknot as well and same story. So days like that where I know it's not set up how it normally is, I'm hanging out at the stage and all day until they do a pyro test because I'm like, I got to feel how this is so I can let Luke know what it's like up there so that he can have a good show, and that's like not a normal thing for a drum tech to do. But like Luke's my boy. We had a very bad experience one time. So like whatever I can do to keep his mind at ease, I'm just going to go ahead and do it, and I will fight. I will fight with pyro. I will fight with the show director and I'll be like, this can't happen, man. This will not, I'm telling you right now, we're going to have a problem if it stays like this, So I'm just like, I'm just telling you, so you figure it out.
Well, I think that luckily, and I keep saying we're gonna get to YouTube, but in your YouTube series, you have proven that you'll do that.
Yeah.
Like we can hear you, but also we can see it where you're like.
True, there are a few where I'm like, nope.
Yeah, where like they're, putting the drums up on a ramp and it's gonna hit the microphones are gonna hit or the cymbals are gonna hit. And you're like, guys, we need to be careful here.
Yeah.
And I think really, in my opinion, because one, you're showing for the first time really like what it's like to be a drum tech. I know there's been some other folks who have done it now, but
the first one.
He is the first one. He is YouTube's drum tech. But I want to talk about how that kind of came about. But what's great about that is like you're kind of setting the bar a little bit, whether you want to agree with that or not.
I guess so, yeah.
Because to me, like I've been teched for like maybe 2 or 3 times. Most of the stuff I've done is relatively small. And typically it's like, I'll help you get your stuff up on stage, I'll help you get your stuff off stage, at least in my experience.
Okay.
But like the attention to detail you take to tuning, to making sure everything is set, it feels right, because obviously in the video you're cutting a whole day way down.
Yeah.
But for Luke or whoever it is, because you've obviously teched for other guys, the whole point is like they should be able to get up there and just do their thing.
Exactly.
Like it shouldn't feel weird. It shouldn't, and like what Todd Zuckerman says, it's a game of millimeters. So like back to measuring a little too far, but to your point, but like they should feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is something that you've really, and I'm sure other techs obviously are doing that too, but like you've really shown how important that is. Because Luke does go up there every night and just crushes it.
Yeah.
But he can't do that if he's thinking about, well, this hi-hat's weird or the cymbal's in a weird spot, and I saw, the most recent one, clearly I watch a lot of YouTube, but I saw the most recent one where you, took the ride off and put it back and you're like, I got to make sure this is all comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that's really helpful when people are looking at, if anybody wants to get into teching, like what is the most important part of it? Sure, tuning and all that other stuff, but most importantly, is the drummer comfortable?
Yeah, exactly. It's the most important part, I would say, is like having your artist just like at ease and like a real like trust between the two of you, and that happens over time. Like that's obviously you get a new gig, it's not going to be like that like immediately, but like for Luke, I am in a lucky position because I've known him for so long, and like me and him both started really touring kind of at the same time. He has a couple of years on me, but like we were both like kind of in the trenches with the Word Alive at the same time. So I got a lot of leeway, I'm sure, early on, but through all that, like, and back then I didn't take it as serious, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't understand that it could be an actual career at the time, you know? So I quit and came back after 2020. Like, I quit the Word Alive, and then that's when Luke hit me up for Falling. But like, and that was like a huge eye opener for me, because again, I was playing for the Word Alive leading up to this. So I was my own tech, and I was kind of a little bit jaded on music at this point, because I was like 32 or 33, and I just had been so close to any bit of success my whole career up until this point. And I just never, ever got to a point where I wasn't like stressing about, financials and stuff forever.
What am I going to do?
So as soon as Luke hit me up for Falling, and this was after 2020, I was streaming on Twitch and doing pretty well on Twitch at the time, but I was saving money to go to welding school. So I was going to go to welding school and give up again. And then he hit me up. He's like, hey, do you want a drum tech for me? I'm playing for Falling in Reverse. You get paid this much. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, whoa, I didn't know this was possible.
Yeah.
So I was like, hell yeah, dude, I'm back. I was like, let's get the duo back together. And even that first year, I was still like, this is why I always preach, like, stop like partying, like, have fun here and there, but on the road, if you want to be respected and you don't want to cause problems, like, you start giving up on partying. With touring and rock and roll, it like goes hand in hand, that people assume that it's just a party. And everyone's like having, getting fucked up and whatnot, but it could not be farther from the truth, at least in the camps I've worked for. It's very, very professional, very laid back, but also like, on this level, everybody is good at their job, and everybody's killing it. You don't have to think about anything but your job.
Yeah.
You see, like, my drums live on a riser. I don't even push cases anymore for the most part. Like, I show up at my allotted time. My shit's on the stage. I set it up. I take care of it. I take it down, and I leave the cases, and and everything ends up on the truck, and it's there the next day every time. And I don't have to worry about it at all. So
back up just a little bit. Phoenix Arena now, it was Footprint, and it was all the time.
Yeah, who knows what it is now.
Yeah, but Daughtry Disturbed played, again, became good friends with the Daughtry camp after the audition stuff, and then David, good friend, so went to the show, hung out with all the guys. And that's one of those things where you're like, that's like one of the biggest rock metal bands in the world. And so, you go backstage and you don't know what to expect, because again, my experience backstage has been where my band's like one of the biggest bands. So go back there and again, people are drinking wine and we're talking about our kids and
quiet.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too, where you go back, behind the curtain and obviously most of my experience has been teching for myself and not using my own shit anyway.
Yeah.
But when you're seeing a production like that and you get to see all the different people that are contributing to the show.
The massive amount of people.
Yeah. Because, you hang out to the end, you get to watch everybody loading the trucks and, we're hanging out with the crew, everybody. And there's like, hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And to your point, what you're thinking is like, all of these people have a mortgage or rent, or all these people have kids or car payments, whatever it is.
Yeah, they got their lives they got to take care of.
Yeah, and so like this is their income. This is what they do.
It's like it's a legitimate career.
Yeah.
And I had no idea my whole life that's how it was, like on this level. I just never imagined I would be on this level in any way.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the coolest thing for me with your YouTube was like, again, coming back after quitting. I shouldn't say quitting, but stopping.
I quit.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. But even, and then getting this opportunity, it reminds me, I want to go back to something that your grandmother said to you, which was like, you're going to be kicking yourself. You're going to regret it for the rest of your life if you don't do this. And regardless of the fact that there was ups and downs and, you did this, then did the Word of Live, and there was a lot that happened, right?
Yeah.
It's like, think about even the girlfriend at the time, right, who kind of talked you out of doing it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now with the life that you have without those things happening.
Exactly.
And I think about that all the time because, again, when I was younger, there was this part kicking myself like, gosh, should have wore protection. Obviously, jokes aside, but like,
do it.
We'll put a brand sponsor. No, I'm just kidding. But like, there is that regret that sets in a little bit of like, God, I could have done this, and I could have, because we were just about to go off on tour. We were also talking to Sumerian, like it was becoming a thing. And then you start to, but then I think about like, gosh, I appreciate it all so much more now.
Yeah.
I had to give it up.
For real.
Then you got the call for falling in reverse. And you're like, oh yes, like this is what I've been trying to do.
Exactly.
And like what I loved about the YouTube though was one, I get to watch, I say an old friend because we haven't stayed connected. And also I was off doing my own stuff. But to see an old friend like get to live a dream. But then also like you really are exposing a lot of people to like, this is a very big production with a lot of moving parts. And like, I think if anything, for me, and maybe this is true for casual listeners, but definitely for musicians that watch your channel, at that level, it gives a whole new appreciation for the performance.
Definitely.
Because it's like, yeah, there's 4 or 5 dudes playing the music, but it's like, God, there's hundreds of them making this thing happen.
Yeah. In a day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, I'll just tell you a quick story, and then we'll get to YouTube.
Okay.
But I was at the Disturbed show, and again, after getting a little bit more familiar with just what goes on behind the scenes at that level, just through you, through David, through Andrew on the Daughtry side, watching their big wall of fire and everything shooting up everywhere, but then even just listening to how tight everything is and how clean everything is. It's like, that's a team of front of house people. There's a team of audio engineers. There's a team of people doing the in-ear mixes. There's like all this shit. And as an audience member, you're like, yeah, so I'm seeing my favorite band, but it's like, God, you wouldn't be able to, without all that crap.
Yeah, it's true, man.
So I'm just curious, like what, because you started doing YouTube, it blew up really fast. I think for all the reasons we're talking about. But what was it where you were like, I'm going to strap a camera on me one day and just do this?
So it was super random. So like I started my YouTube channel in 2008 and I remember I made a drum cover of Job for a Cowboy's Entities with like a point and shoot Canon camera, and it got like 20,000 views. And I was just like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
That was it. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't understand social media at all. There wasn't really social media at all, kind of. Like maybe
MySpace into Facebook at that point.
Yeah, it was like the transitionary period between MySpace and Facebook.
So like really got going around 2008 too.
I wish it blew up then. God damn. But like
we'd be sitting in different
yeah, man. Holy fuck, yeah. But fucking adpocalypse, dude. That really ruined everything. So I just had a random idea because before I would go to new places, I would always search them on YouTube. And I was going to Japan for the first time. So I wanted to like watch YouTube videos on Japan. And like, I was like, oh, I'm going to be in Shibuya. I want to watch like something about Shibuya. And there was like, in the suggested videos, there was like a POV walk through Shibuya, and I put it on, and I was like mesmerized by it. I just like went into a trance, just like drooling, just watching it. And I was like, that was really entertaining. And it's literally just a guy walking down the street. So I was like, that'd be cool if I did that for like drums or something. And then also there's this girl on YouTube called Synthetic. Instead of an S, it's a 2. Okay. She doesn't have a lot of uploads. She has a really good following, but she doesn't post very much. But she makes these like super aesthetic, well-shot videos of her just doing like mundane things. Like the first video I saw of hers was she was putting like a new desk together. She got like a new monitor and she was like changing the vibe of her desk, but she shot it so well and she didn't speak at all. It was just like the ambient noises and stuff. And she did subtitles explaining, and she was like talking to the audience through the custom subtitles. Yeah. So I was like, dude, what if I had already bought the GoPro and shot the first video. And then I was like, what if I like tell a story a little bit too? So I baked in, subtitles on like the first 2 videos. And so it's a combination of that. It's like Japanese like walk through Shibuya plus this girl Synthetics videos, and I put them together for the drum tech thing because the whole point was like, I want to try this and I want to see if it does well, but I cannot have it affect my job in any way. Like first, like for the social repercussions of being the guy backstage, it's like, what's up guys? Like, come on, like there's no fucking chance I was gonna do that. So I was like, I can buy a GoPro chest mount and I could just, wear it and then I'll make a supercut. And then I added the subtitles. And I was like, I bet this gets, I was like, if I'm lucky, this will get 15,000 views. And it got like 35,000 in the first day. And then it just kept going up and up and up and up. And my subscribers were just constant. I would open up this YouTube studio and it would be like, everything's in the green, like so far. It's like plus 10,000 subscribers in the last month. And I'm just like, bro, what is happening? And of course it was at the end of tour too. So I had nothing to give back after that. So I made like an at-home video that did okay. And then I was like, I gotta do more of these as soon as I get out there. But so I would like to preface that I made sure I could do this. Like I asked Ronnie specifically. I was like, hey man, I shot this video, I edited it. It doesn't have, I don't even say who the band is. I don't say who the drummer is. I don't say anyone's name. It's just drum tech in an arena, day in the life, POV. And he's like, go for it, bro. That's all it was. I probably have the DM somewhere still. It's just, I want to get that one framed because right next to the 100K plaque when that shows up someday. But like,
it's not that far away, dude.
it's not. It's not. It's like becoming a reality now. So I'm like, hell yeah. But yeah, it was like total, like just shot in the dark. I didn't see anyone else doing it, and I was like, let's just see what happens. And then it just did really well. And then like, there was like the Moda Center video in Portland, got like 2 million views. Like I think that might have been my 5th or 6th video out of that series. I already had like probably 50 videos on YouTube of just like covers and stuff like that. But that's just, that market is incredibly oversaturated. But I don't suggest I don't suggest any drummers out there waste time on doing covers. The time you spend editing those and stuff, you could be practicing for a real gig. Like, you know, it's just that whole battle to get the first cover out when a new song comes out. I'm just like, guys, I couldn't scroll faster past a drum video nowadays. I'm just like, come on.
I'll tell you. So one, that is awesome, and it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So it's synthetic Shibuya.
I got off track again.
No, you're good. Because I was going to say that's what we're going to call it. But it's funny that you mentioned the drum cover thing though, because that was when I was getting into it. You know, like I just want to play drums, YouTube, and then I told you like. That's where the offer started to come in. I'm like, hey, can you do this album? Hey, can you do this show or this tour? But it's funny because like this maybe is going to make me sound like an ass, but I purposefully don't go, ooh, a new song, let me jump on it.
Yeah.
Because everybody does that. And then you have like 1,000 covers of this brand new song. And
those views get spread real thin.
Yeah, and I hate this song now.
Yeah.
You know, like the one I just put up today actually is fucking Backstreet Boys.
There you go.
Larger Than Life.
Yeah, and I want to preface, like, if you have fun doing it, of course, go and do it.
But if you're trying to make that a living...
Yeah, if you're trying to break through, like, it's just probably not going to happen that way, man. Like, you got to have a shtick, dude. Like, who's the dude that plays with one hand?
El Estapario.
Yeah, like, that guy had, like, a shtick.
Yeah.
You know, he's also an insane drummer.
Yeah.
So it's like... He's playing these songs that are already hard to play with all your limbs with one. You know? So it's like, okay, well, of course that's going to hit, you know. But if, you know, you're playing the newest Bring Me the Horizon song, you get it out 6 hours after the song came out. Like, I mean, if you're having fun, go for it. But if you're trying to do this to get recognized and stuff like that, man, you could be putting your efforts into something a little more creative.
I agree. And it's funny. So like, that's one of the things that I get asked often. And it's kind of similar to what you were just saying, but it was like, I started with just doing covers, and then I would do a little bit of like behind the scenes, but I didn't want to be, hey, that guy either. Yeah. So I was like, how do I do this? And I was so awkward because I'm like, hi, I'm going to record drums. And so like the first like real like try of that was like, here's a studio tour. Here's my, and then I did like, here's me recording with Zombies. And we did the album thing.
So you like build a story around whatever the topic is. Exactly. That's way more enjoyable and more personal. Like YouTube loves to be personable with the person they're watching.
And that's why I do this, the behind the kit stuff. And I've also started doing some factory stuff. I did the DW tour, which was just
that's sick,
fucking cool. Then I just did Sabian. I think I told you that. I was just in Canada doing that, which was Sabian. I've been playing for 25 years, so like I had to do it.
My first cymbals were Sabian cymbals.
Yeah. So like the reason I share that is like to your point. Started off with covers, having a good time, but I'm like, okay, I'm doing these factory tours. The Behind the Kit series though was a little bit similar in the sense of as I came back to doing this, and like I came back as an adult. That was the biggest thing. You know, I was 30, I think, when I started doing it again. And I was like, God, there's a lot of, back to YouTube, there's a lot of information on like how to do a paradiddle or double strokes or double bass.
How to
like,
tune a snare, how to tune whatever drum.
Yeah, but like how to be a professional, like how to get a gig, how to keep a gig, how to be a good dude. Like when you're out on, you know, with other, basically how to like, give me some advice on like how to go do this. Just wasn't there. And I was like, and I'd made a lot of friends, and you know, back then, but then now, I was like, gosh, I'm friends with these guys that are doing this for a living. And like, obviously I want to do it for a living, but there's so many other people that want to do it too. How can I share that with other people? And then it became this bigger thing of like, it doesn't just have to be drums. Like, I just blew a bubble. It's about chasing dreams, right? And so like, this brings me all the way back to the original point of like the girlfriend, the grandma, Luke joining Falling in Reverse. These are all moments in your life. Like Shibuya and Synthetic. These are all moments in your life that were like, I'm a big fan of like the universe will provide. You know, if you stay steadfast, if you stay disciplined, the universe will provide. And so like all these moments happen for that reason to get you to where you're at.
And all these moments are going to test you on how much you are willing to sacrifice or how much you actually love this thing you say you love. Like, I mean, it's obviously hard. Like, I don't like whatever career or hobby you have, if you have to stop for whatever reason, like it's going to be hard no matter how much you love it, I guess. But it depends on how many times you get shut down over and over and you still say yes to an opportunity if it comes around. Because like, there's probably so many people like that gave up right before.
Seriously.
Dude, right before. And I was at that point, man. I was so certain that I was not going to give this a shot. And I couldn't have been more positive, dude.
Welding school.
Yeah, I was ready for it. And like, I don't know. I think like, I just love it, dude. I love the lifestyle. I love the traveling, and the people I work with for the most part are all awesome, fun people to be around, and getting to travel the world with all those people has been so fun. Like our last Europe trip was so, like, we have a pretty core crew now, so we're really close and stuff. So it was really fun to like get to experience these new places with like your best buds and stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, so it is a test to like, do you really want it or not? Like, here's another little bit of an opportunity. And it doesn't matter how big the opportunity is either, because it could be that, domino effect or snowball effect per se, rather that could make it happen. So yeah, man, if you just, you can preach hard work all the time, but it's like more your ability to not like give up, I guess. Hard work, of course, is a big part of it, but
yeah. So I was talking to Brendan Buckley from Shakira, and he said that a black belt is just a white belt who didn't quit. Yeah. And I'm like,
basically,
they just kept pushing, kept working. And I'm like, that's what it's about. Like, to your point, just having the experience of both, right? And you've been there too, of like having to give it up. And it sucks and it hurts. And you're like, but I can't, I have, whether it's obligations or whatever it is. And then it comes back and you're like, I got to do this. Like, I can't say no.
I can't say no to this.
Yeah. And it's like one of those things where this has also been a kind of a theme, but it's an affliction, because it's like, it's not, in some cases, anybody on the outside looking in is like, that's not healthy. Like, you shouldn't.
Right.
But it's like, it is the most rewarding thing when you get to just live your dream. And especially like, maybe I'm going to get cheesy here, but I think drums are unique in that way, because guitar is obviously, great guitar players are going to get into it. They're going to get emotional. They're going to feel it. Same thing with bass players and singers, but I don't think anybody gets as big of an emotional release.
I don't know, man. Like I even get it still to this day. Yeah. Like, I just put the Hellfest video out, and like at that show, I got the goosebumps. Yeah, I got the like lump in the throat, and I'm literally sitting behind the riser. I can't even see the crowd, but I can like hear everything happening. And then it's like one of those moments where you kind of like, oh, we're headlining this today, and there's like 90,000 or 70 or 90,000 people there, and you're just like, whoa, and you're just like, take a second. I look over Chris and Pip and these are guitar techs, and then like, Kyle and then Luke, what I came through the trenches with, he's up there and there's fucking fire everywhere and Ronnie's going nuts, and you're just like, damn, this is so much bigger than me. Like, all this is so crazy. Like, I still to this day, I'm just like, this is fucking insane. Even when I was editing that video, it was happening, It's just like, damn, like, it was worth it, At least at this point, it was worth it.
Yeah.
It's really surreal even to this day. And that's like not even counting the YouTube thing. Like, that's a whole nother thing that I still can't even wrap my head around to this day.
I mean, I think to your point, like, there's the YouTube blowing up. You got Falling in Reverse, which seems to just get bigger every fucking year.
Yeah, I did their last theater tour. So I have been there I've been there for like the big like rise in there. Like, obviously I wasn't there through over the 10 years of that band's career before, but I did that last theater tour, and then it was just arenas and amphitheaters and huge, massive festivals all the time. And it's just like, damn, I get my own hotel room, like Admiral's Club for American Airlines. It's just like, damn, dude, like, I'm a professional traveler now. I'm a traveling man, and it's just wild, because I was flipping, not flipping burgers, but I was delivering pizzas all the time. So it's like, and that's another thing. If I don't remember what you were saying earlier, but it made me think of how like drums might be the most toxic relationship I've ever been in.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like, as a kid, when you first start doing it, you're like, I love this thing so much. You love it blindly, and you're like discovering new music, and you're like, wow, how did they sound like this? Like, what? How are they playing this? Like, and you're just infatuated with it. And then you enter this era of drums where it's like, now I'm trying to make money doing this. And then it gets dark.
Really fast.
Really fast, overnight. Your love and passion become something you're depending on to provide for yourself. And then it gets really hard.
And stressful.
And that's the part where people can't push through. All my friends, this is a quote, I think it's from Craig Reynolds. All my friends that didn't give up are doing cool shit. And that's like, couldn't be more true. That's paraphrasing, because I don't remember exactly what the tweet was, but it stuck with me, because I was like, yeah, that's fucking true, man. Like, all my friends that kept doing it are actually doing some form of cool thing now, and everybody else is living their life. I'm sure they're happy. But like, who knows? They might have given up a little too early.
I mean, trust me, it's one of those weird things, because you look at some of those guys that we talked about, Nick, we talked about yourself, the guys that I have that all the time. There was that 10 years where I'm watching everybody go do their thing, and I'm like, But to your point, it's like, but it never goes away. And that affliction or that toxic relationship is still there. And now it's a little bit different, but to your point, it gets really stressful. Like, there's been so many times, even now with my YouTube finally starting to kind of grow, and like this series going really well, and even now, like, there will be days, like just the other day, I was like, God, I just don't want to do this anymore. It's just so much work, and
I don't feel good. I haven't eaten very well. I'm sleeping on a bench in a van in a Walmart parking lot. Everyone's fucking grumpy. Like, why am I here?
Even this, like, and again, this is no shade to Sabian. I'm paying out of my own pocket to fly out there, and a lot. I've
spent a fortune on their cymbals at this point. I'm sure.
So I fly myself out there, but I didn't want to fly into Canada, so I drove from Maine to Canada, and like all these things. It's 3 days of my time, and I'm having the time of my life. I love it. I get to look at cymbals and talk to Randy Ross, who's like the coolest dude ever. But like, again, you get back from that trip. It's like 9 o'clock at night. You got to go to sleep. You got to get up to go to work the next day. Your daughter's on summer breaks. You're like, fuck, what am I going to do with it? But I wouldn't give it up. I can't. It's one of those things where it's like, if you keep working at it, if you keep pushing, and I was at 2,000 subscribers in like January.
Okay.
And it's like 20,000 today.
Yeah, you hit the stride.
So something
worked. Moment, man.
So I'm like, I'm going to keep pushing this thing. But and I'm sure you can identify with this now, especially as we get older, but like, I've started to go, you know what? Drums are a gift in my life. It's something I'm grateful for. It's something I can use to express myself. If money comes from that, awesome.
Yeah.
If not, I have this other part of my life that takes care of all that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, I have the best of both worlds right now. It's truly awesome.
Hell yeah.
But I am curious. Sorry, I'm getting on a tangent, but I am curious. So YouTube blows up. You're getting comments. You know, I know the world. Some are good, some are not. What do you think is just like maybe 2 or 3 things you've learned since posting and like getting the response and seeing how people react to the different aspects of what you're showing? Like, what are a couple of things you think you've learned?
Like learned about like the videos, like what to do and what not to do, or
I'll let you decide. It could be about the videos, about yourself. It could be about what people want to know more about. It could be all that stuff.
Oh man,
It's a weird one.
yeah, like I've definitely learned to just not read the comments. I don't read them. The only comments I'll ever read are if, you know, you open YouTube Studio and it's like whatever most recent comments on any video are, those first 3. I'll read those just because they're there. But like, it's funny because I would say 95% of my interaction on my channel is incredibly positive. Yeah. Everyone like thanking me for doing the videos, telling me they love the videos, like laughing at parts, talking about Diet Coke. Yeah. Like there's so much good, and I recognize that for sure. But every now and then there's that one comment that you're just like, that like just hangs with you forever. You remember it. I can't remember an inspirational tweet from Craig, but but I'll remember this comment from this dude that's probably just fucking pissed off that his life didn't work out. Yeah. And he's just sitting there on his computer talking shit. And like, for some reason that sticks with you so hard over the like plethora of great things people say, you know? And it's, so I don't know. If you're gonna read comments, like go for it, but I just don't, man. I don't interact really on YouTube at all. Like, people ask a lot of questions that I cannot answer anyways. Like, people ask about the band and they ask like, are you gonna be here soon? Are you gonna do this soon? Can I come back and shadow you? Like, all these questions that I'm just like, I can't answer that. Like, and for the record, no, you cannot come backstage with me. Absolutely not. So
we just talked about fire and hundreds of people.
It's so dangerous, and you have no idea what you're doing. So you cannot do that. But so I don't read comments, and I feel bad genuinely about it because of all the good that's in there and stuff. But Patreon is where I have my notifications turned on for Patreon. Like, I will answer you if I can, if you're not asking something about Ronnie's personal life or something. Like, I'm not going to speak on anyone's behalf but my own around this channel, you know?
Absolutely.
Because, you know, I walk a fine line, bro. Like, I could put the wrong thing in a video on accident and all of a sudden no more YouTube videos, you know? It's like, do I want to keep this job? Because that is my bread and butter, is touring and teching. Or do I like quit and try and find another band that will let me do this, you know? And especially a band on this level. Yeah. It's like, good luck, dude. Because I may have shot myself in the foot with this at the same time, because, you know, there might be people out there that would hire me, but they're like, oh, but this guy's going to have cameras on backstage all the time. And, you know, he's going to catch something you can't do, because that has happened. Yeah. That happened with A Day to Remember. I put something in a video that someone didn't like. It was no one in the band. I need to preface this. Yeah. Because when this happened, people were coming at the band about it. They're like, oh, you fucked up by not letting him do it. And I'm like, yo, dude, relax. Do not do that. You're making me look bad.
Yeah, you're not going to get that, to your point, that's going to hurt me. Don't do that. Yeah, if you want to help me, just watch the video.
Just keep your mouth shut about it, you know, and just wait for the next upload, man. Like, sorry, like, you know, so, but yeah, so like, luckily it wasn't a big deal. I didn't put up a fight at all. Yeah. Like, going into this gig, I let them know. I got permission again. And like, referred them to a bunch of videos and stuff. And I put one part in a video that they were not cool with, and I had to stop doing it for like a month and a half, 6 weeks of content, which really sucked, because I was getting like 500,000 views per video at the time. And I was like, no.
Yeah, and those A Day to Remember video, that was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, those videos still pop off right now. They're still doing some of the best numbers wise. Yeah, that stuck too. Yeah, you know. But I loved my time with Data Remember, honestly. Alex and all those guys they're like a great example of like a bunch of kids that made a band that made it, and they just have not let go of that. They know, they're very aware that they're just the boys playing music that they like.
And get them to live their dream.
Yeah, and it's a great vibe to be around.
Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah, because you've done, and we won't go through a list of bands, but you've done a number of bands now that you've been able to tech with, and every drummer is different. Every drum set's different. What do you think is the one consistency between whether it's the drummer and their needs, or even just dealing with the gear?
Just being consistent in general is the consistency. Like, Luke is very particular with how his drums sound, and it's, I've got that shit down to a science at this point. And so going to like a Day to Remember, that wasn't too much of a transition because I already knew the front house guy, Nate. That's who got me that gig.
Yeah.
And me and him worked together on Luke's tones a bunch already, so it was just an easy, like, we just already got along. He knows that if he tells me something sounds weird, I'm not going to be offended by it at all. Like, I'm worried about the big picture here. I have no ego when it comes to this type of thing. So
snare might sound great to me right now, but if it doesn't sound good in the mix, then it doesn't matter.
Then it don't matter. Yeah. So like Alex's drums, I got to be a little more wide open and like rock and roll, big fat snare drum, which was a really nice change of pace for me at the time. Yeah. Luke's got his snare just cranked, man. So, that, and just being like someone they can count on for anything, like I'm not, as a drum tech, I'm not their personal assistant in any way, and I've never had an experience with someone that has tried to treat me that way. But, like if they hit me up for something, if they just want someone to talk, like hang out with, they're like, yo, what are you doing? Like, I'm always going to drop whatever I got going on to go say what's up, or like grab lunch, or, just, I don't know, just be there for them, and like truly a lot of these guys I worked for, I consider like real friends. So it's not like a burden for me to do anything like that.
That's what it's all about too. Yeah. Like take the music out of it, take the drums out of it. Like we're all just here to hang out with each other, have a good time, and to your point, that's a really good distinguishing piece. So like for anybody out there who's not aware of what a drum tech is, you're not a personal assistant.
No,
you are a partner. To help, and you're a crucial.
Our child is the kid.
Yeah, exactly. And
we're married, bro.
Yeah, we're married, and we got this kid that's really loud.
It's really fucking loud.
Goddamn.
Really finicky in the weather.
Yeah. Why is it that sometimes it sounds weird hot, sometimes it's cold? But I'm gonna kind of pivot from drum tech for a second. But before I do that, you just put up a video behind Eloy's kit. Obviously, you were up on Ray's kit.
Yeah.
You probably get. I remember there was one. And I feel bad, I can't remember his name, but Parkway Drive drummer's kit. It's like up on the crazy.
What is his name? David Nestor was teching for him at the time. That's why I got to check that out.
Yeah.
But
I can't think of his name right now.
I've never met him, so I feel too bad.
I'll put it in here. I've never met him either. I was thinking Pete Weber, but I know he's in Havoc and he's in Fear Factory. But anyway, you get to see some of the coolest drum sets in the world. Obviously, Luke's is gorgeous and it sounds great, and it's obviously there's the added 18-inch, and so it's a little bit bigger now, but
it's pretty basic. Though.
But you've seen, Eloy's got 4 kicks with the double pedal.
Yeah, and honestly, Eloy's kit is pretty basic too. Like for the most part, like it's basically drums and the essential cymbals. That's really all it is. Like the only things that he has that are outliers are like he has like a continuous EAD set up for his, social media. So he puts his own phone up there and hits record every night, and then makes all his own content. And then he had a gong as well, which is not normal. And then but yeah, 4 kick drums is pretty crazy, but it's just a double pedal, and he's using one, and a lot of it's for show. But he's got like 3 crashes, a China, some splashes, hi-hats, and a ride, man. That's really all it is. I can't remember Disturbed's drummer's name, Mike.
Yeah.
he has a pretty wild kit.
Yeah.
Like just the way it's set up, like it's just like
with the
facing you.
and with like the crazy, because I got to see his kit with David when they were here.
Yeah.
And it's like got the crazy rack that looks like exhaust pipes, and
Yeah.
you know, and when I went to the show, he had the 2 kits. So he had the, you know, the 2005 one or whatever it was, and then he had the big one. So he was doing 2 the whole show.
Holy hell.
Yeah, and it was funny though. Not no shade on Pearl, but the older kit sounded better than the new one.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was like a 2000. I think it was a 2000 Pearl Masters with like, you know, 4 plies and the re-rings, and then he was playing a reference. I think it was just a Music City reference on his main kit, you know, the big crazy one. But I'm like, dude, that 25-year-old Pro Master sounds pretty insane.
Amazing, yeah. Like, I don't know, my 2005 Tama is the best sounding kit I've ever owned, like by leagues and bounds. So it's like, I don't know, there might have been something different about those older kits, but like those pre-social media kits, man, like honestly, there might have been something up with that.
Well, now they're turning and burning them. I was an SJC artist. By the time this comes out, I will have moved on from SJC, but I was an SJC artist for you know, quite a bit of time, and that surprised the hell out of me. Not to say that they make great drums, but it was just one of those things where they sent me my kits and I got it loaded up in the studio. And before that, I was using a Pearl Masters maple gum, which is like
like literally the epitome.
Yeah. Anyway, I had this crazy. You've probably seen the videos with the double bass and all that stuff.
The big, it's black, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, this is unreal how good this sounds. The point I was getting to, because again, I'll go off on tangents, is seeing, you know, because even the, you know, A Day to Remember's kit, I think it was Sleeping with Sirens was another one you did. Yeah, they were relatively similar, right? Like 2 floors of
I keep getting lucky with these easy kits, man, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I see David do those, like, you know, those big kits, and like Mark from Korn and like Marco, Eloy's guy. I'm like, dude, I am skating by right now. I am literally so lucky.
Well, I was just going to say, you meet with Marco, you meet with Mark, you meet with these guys who are doing these, and again, back to Parkway Drive's crazy, also big kit, but the crazy contraption of flipping around and everything. When you're talking with those guys and talking about the experience, you know, did they have any kind of either insight or jokes, or do they shit talk about how big the kits are? I'm just not to throw shade. It's more just, you know, we all give each other shit.
Usually it's like I consider it kind of like this. The vibe is always like a kid that's excited to show you something he did. Like it's not like I don't feel like I really like. Of course, we talk some shop in that conversation, but they're more like, it's like I'm seeing this for the first time, like up close. So I'm like, what's this? I'm like, oh, you got oh, cool, you know. And then they're just like so excited to like,
let me show you.
Talk to someone about it that understands what they're talking about. But also like in those situations, that gives me insane imposter syndrome. Like every time, because we were talking before we hit record, I'm like, people are going to be surprised when they find out that I'm not like this drum professor. And that's how it feels like whenever, like when I met David and I met, you know, Marco and Mark, like these guys are like professors to me, you know, especially Mark Bennett from like Ray's guy. Like he was showing me like the new SPDS, and he's like, yo, yeah, they got this new thing, and you can do this, and I've got this sample running here, and then if you hit this side, it's this sample, and blah, blah, blah. And what's cool about it, he's like explaining to me this SPDS, and I'm like, I've never even touched one of these in my life. So I'm like, I have no idea. Like if I got thrown in a hip hop gig with a bunch of electronics, I would struggle real hard, you know? But like, just like their vast knowledge on product and just the art in general and the craftsmanship behind it is like, I always feel like way surpasses mine, because like I was a drummer more than I was actually a tech. Like, of course I teched for myself, but I wasn't giving a shit. Like I had to lug this thing in here. I could care less if the tom has a little bit of an oing to it or the snare is like kind of dead sounding. Like I'm just like, whatever, front of house will figure it out.
I just got to play the show.
I just got to play the show because I slept for 2 hours last night. But it's like, so I think in that time in my life, especially when I was playing drums, I kind of put that like, the science behind drums like kind of behind me, and I was just trying to play as good as I can. That was like really all I cared about. So yeah, like I said, I get questions about about drums all the time, and a lot of the time I'm like,
What heads do you use? Why do you use those heads? What sound is it? Yeah.
to this day, I don't know what Luke's finish is called. The finish on his drums, I think it's a map of burl. That's what I tell everybody. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah. You're like, just you look it up.
I'm like, it looks cool.
Yeah.
I don't care what it's made out of. I know it's maple, but there's like DW is doing this weird ply thing at the time where they would, I think they do it now still. It's like an option, but it'll be like one ply's horizontal, one's vertical, one's like
diagonal or
diagonal, and it's like a pattern of that. Don't know what that's called. I know those drums have it. No idea what it does to the drums at all, but it doesn't really matter to me because like I know what Luke wants. He wants P4s or coated emperors on the toms. He wants a P77 on the snare, and he wants them to sound a certain way. So I don't care what any of the drums are made out of, or if they have die-cast tubes or triple flanged or whatever, because I'm gonna make them sound the way he wants. If they were made out of, if they were 3D printed, you know, I'm gonna try and make them sound is what they're supposed to sound like.
And to your point, like it probably is good, especially from a tech perspective, because it's like, I don't know if it could be Luke today, it could be drummer Y tomorrow, it could be, so like if you have a preference, like it almost doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like my preference is for me, but I need to do it for whatever they want. I need to set up however they want it. It's their cymbals, it's their drums. And a lot of these guys already have their own endorsements. They already have their own companies they want to work with. So it's like,
they know what works for them.
Yeah. You might go into a situation like, I'm an Evans guy, a Zildjian guy, and I'm not saying you are, but like I'm all these things, and Luke is Meinl and Remo and DW, and you're like, whatever. I know what to do. I know how to do this. I know how to make it sound good. I don't really give a shit what's on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not here to give a shit what's on it.
No.
So it's funny because on the flip side, I'm like gear nerd. Like I'm like looking at the different plies, and I want to know what this is, and you know, and as I'm going through like the the DW drum selection, I'm like, well, maple mahogany with this shell configuration and this type of rim, or whatever. I'm thinking of all that stuff.
Yeah.
But just because I'm a fucking nerd. Like I want to dig into all that crazy shit. But like to your point, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like
it's overwhelming to me. Like if I were to order a new kit, I would just be like let's say for example, DW is like, hey, we want to make you something. I would be like, can I come to the shop and just play some stuff? And then I would probably just do that and be like, I like this one.
Yeah.
So I'll do this one in this color. Like I don't even care what it is. Like that's a poplar shells. And
they're like, this is actually a Pearl export.
Yeah. Like, I like that one.
Yeah.
You know.
It's funny though, because actually that's what happened. I went to DW and I just tapped the maple mahogany and I was like, oh shit. And then of course in your mind you're like, I gotta do maple, I gotta do maple. But I was like, no, dude, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I still think Maple Gun's my favorite because it's just ridiculous, but I digress.
I had a before my Star Classic Maple, I had I don't remember what series Tama it was, but it was like the step under the painted badge of a Star Classic. And it was what was it? It was the Babinga combination, Rich Babinga, yeah. And that kit sounded so good. Yeah. It was like the definition of punchy sounding drums to me. Like that meatball, like every drum had that at the top end, you know, and it just cut through metal so well.
And I know that they like discontinued it obviously because of the low, it was like sourcing Babinga, there wasn't a lot of it, but like, God, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. I had one for a short period of time, just to be honest, like I'll buy and sell shit all the time. Mainly because I was just trying to get that sound. You know, one of the things that I learned early coming back, and I promise I'll bring it back to point, but I learned early on coming back was like, initially I was like, I just want to be a pro. I just want to be a pro. I just want to be a pro. So I'm like, get an endorsement, like, you know, you just don't think about it the right way.
Yeah.
And I chased that versus chasing the sound and the tone and the feel and all the things you're supposed to do. And so I just did this, chasing my tail.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what, like, I started to get some, and I'm like, this, if it's not the right company, it's not the right product, it's not the right relationship, it's like, well, what am I doing? Like, what's the point?
You're just taking the first thing that someone dangled in front of you, basically. Like, Yeah, I guess like I think that happens to a lot of drummers is they kind of lose the plot, and that kind of goes back to what I was talking about, how drums are a toxic relationship. Is like you at some point you forget that like you had fun doing it originally, so you start being like, I need endorsements so people notice me and take me serious, and then you fall into the trap of trying to be the first guy to put out the new Green Day cover, and then you know you're competing against everybody at that point. And there's people that are much worse than you that have bigger followings and they have some sort of shtick, and they're gonna get them over you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter how good you are anymore.
I paint my drums, then I hit them and the paint flies up.
Or smile at the camera. The whole cover. You know, like sorry. No offense to anybody doing that. Just, you know.
That's why when I'm doing it, I'm like, I know I'm not getting monetized. So I'm like, whatever I do on this is free, and it's gotta be fun. So like, and I also, when I'm playing live with a band, I'm playing their songs, I'm playing Pocket, whatever. When I'm playing YouTube, I don't have to do that. So I do
whatever you want.
Yeah. So you'll like the other day I posted a Chapel Roan, which by the way, I don't care what anybody says, she's fucking awesome.
I haven't listened to her yet. I know she is.
Yeah. I'll send you something, but. I did a song of hers. Something I do often is like the first half of the song, I'll play it. It's not like the album, but just within the vein of the album. So similar shit. Second half, I'm like, fuck it. Double bass, crazy fills, like just have fun.
Just shit over it.
Yeah, just shit all over it, but still keep it so it sounds like a song. Like I don't want to just like, you see those guys who just do blast beats over a song.
There's all these gimmicks that happen,
and it's funny, but it was funny like when it first happened. Now it's like, okay, we get I'm
the 50th person copying the original guy.
And I'll be honest, I was a blast beat guy, long.
Same.
And now though, I'm like, I wouldn't be caught doing a blast beat unless I'm doing a cover.
Too old to do that.
Yeah, and it's just not fun.
I say this all the time, and like, I was just having a conversation with someone. I think it was Chris LaPlante, our guitar tech, and I was like, we did Hellfest and Lorna Shore played our stage, and I was like, bro, imagine you're like 20, and no shade Austin at all, but like
he's incredible.
Like, dude, nicest guy. I met him there too, just really briefly, and but I was like, how fucking much would it suck to be like 25 and in really good shape, and you're blast beating, and then right when you're like 30, your band explodes on TikTok, and you're like, bro, I got a blast beat at 240 BPM for at least another 5 years before our band, no one likes our band.
Either we break up.
Hopefully it doesn't happen to anyone, but.
Or we do the pivot into mainstream.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like I get it though. Like whenever people say that people sell out, I'm like, dude, they don't sell, they get old.
It's not selling out, dude. It's like, it's finding a different way to explore. Like, and everybody's got to pay their bills, dude. So like, is it selling out? Like, I guess in a way, but it's like, you can't knock someone for doing what they love in a different way to make their life better.
And if they're enjoying it, who cares?
You know, like who's a good example of that? I don't even know, but like Turnstile used to be like a hardcore band, and now they're like massive, and I'm sure they get pushback from the hardcore community. Like,
but they're still fucking awesome.
Love Turnstile.
Like, was it Blackout? I know that's like the White Girl Wasted song in the sense of like everybody's gonna say Blackout, but that song's so good.
Yeah, I love a lot of their stuff, dude. Like, I go pretty Nonstop Feeling is where I start listening to them, and that's like the drums on that album, guys. Nonstop Feeling, Turnstile. Oh man, those drums sound so good.
Fang.
Yeah,
he's a fucking beast, and he's shredded.
Yeah.
Which he's speaking vegan. Of, that's what he's vegan.
He's vegan, and he's one of those ripped vegan guys. Yeah.
Well, speaking of, I was going to talk to you about it because something you've been posting more about is your fitness.
Yeah, man.
And like, you look great.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, again, I haven't seen you in forever, but you look great. I know that you've lost a lot, and you've been staying really active, and you know, I'll share with you really quick personally. I was growing up, when we last saw each other, I was like 110 pounds, just like this.
Okay.
I was like the drumsticks we were playing.
Yeah.
And then got into, you know, obviously had the baby, got married, got a corporate job. I got up pretty heavy. I'm a short dude, but I got up to about 220-ish.
Okay.
And it was no muscle. It was just like carne asada.
All shit that wasn't supposed to be there.
Barrows. Like, again, for those who don't know what Barrows is, it is Arizona's pizza place.
It's a Phoenix chain. And it slaps.
It's so good.
Shout out Bruce.
That's right. I mean, if you were in a band, you worked at Barrows.
Yeah, basically.
Basically.
They let you come and go.
Yeah.
They let me come and go for 12 years. But sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. A lot of my friends that we were in bands together was at Barrows. But so, anyway, so I get really fat, I get the call, hey, you're pre-diabetic. You got to figure this stuff out. So that next day, got in shape. Well, not the
Started.
Day, you get it, right?
Yeah.
And it was a lot. One of the reason I bring all this in is discipline.
Yeah.
Is the key thing.
It's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Like by far.
Yeah, because you're not, I shouldn't say that. When you start to see the results, the motivation is easier, but like it's never consistent.
No.
And the discipline is like, I'll tell you, I've put on a little bit in the last, I don't know, maybe a couple of years. I was like, I want to bulk and get really big. And then I was like, now I've gotten too big and like not strong. I need to shrink back down.
Yeah.
But like, it's never ending.
Yeah, it's something you constantly have to pay attention to, especially when you get older too.
Yeah. So what kind of was it for you that we were like, I want to really dial this in?
Part of it is like almost every male in my family has had some sort of heart disease in some form, like whether it be a heart attack or diabetes or something like that. And then and like I mentioned earlier that I moved back in with my parents, and it's from my dad, but my dad kind of seeing his health go down has like really put me into gear, because he has diabetes now, and I was like, well, I don't want to go down that road, and I was really going down that road. Like I wouldn't be surprised if I was actually pre-diabetic before I started, because it's like I didn't pay attention to what I ate at all, and like especially after 2020 and stuff, like I just blew up, and I was having such a good time though too, like with touring, and I was like, proud of myself for actually accomplishing it and being able to take care of myself on my own, that I just kind of put it to the side, because I was overweight my whole life until I was like 22, 23. I did P90X. Shout out Tony Horton. I did it twice, and I lost like 120 pounds. So I went from 270 all the way down to 163 pounds doing P90X. And then I just basically immediately blew up again once I was like, damn, I'm fit now. Yeah. So my whole life has been like this battle with my weight and stuff. And personally, I feel like my weight held me back a lot in my life. Like it was always something I was aware of, like especially when you're going through puberty and stuff as a young man, like you discover that you like girls or whatever it may be, and you're like, wow, I don't get attention like all my friends get attention. And then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, it's because I'm fat and blah, blah, blah. And that's like, just kind of ran my whole life for the longest time. I stuck in my room and played drums my whole life. Like I had a lot of friends and stuff, but I had zero experience with women at all. And it wasn't until I like got comfortable with myself and like worked on myself, not just looking good, but the mental that comes along with exercising and eating well. Absolutely. It's a game changer, man. It's like just waking up and not feeling like shit every morning, and like looking in the mirror and being like upset with yourself every day. You're just like, man. Yeah, like disappointed. And just just disappointed, like just negativity all the time, and it's just like your friends are having a pool party and you're like, fuck, that's my worst nightmare. I'm going to take my shirt off in front of a bunch of people. And like, I just have kind of gotten like just so sick of it at this point, and like, I felt like it was a good time because I've reached like a new level of success with my career and YouTube and stuff, that I was like, really the only thing I haven't gotten in check at this point is my health, So I went balls to the wall on it, and I really, really honed down what I eat, and I have a very strict diet at home, and it's carried over onto the road really well, because I'm sure you understand like what an unhealthy relationship with food is, apart from just like maybe binge eating, but the guilt you feel when you overeat or you eat something that like that you used to eat a lot when you're big. So then when you get in shape, you still carry that guilt when you eat that thing, like Barrow's Pizza. Yes. But to be able to let that go and be like, it's okay, man. Yeah. Like you can have pizza and some ice cream, just as long as you don't fall off track.
That was the hardest part.
So hard. Eating is the hardest part of losing weight.
Yeah.
Going to eventually the gym becomes fun.
Yeah.
And whatever you're doing to lose weight is that you look forward to it. But eating, you're like, man, I would love a Barlow's pizza. Just dipping it in their ranch too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was that. Like a lot of
sponsored by Barlow. I'm just kidding.
yeah, for real. Shout out Eric.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that, like, you know, my dad and like my grandparents and stuff, them seeing like how their lives went when they got older. I just don't want to, I want to be able when I'm older and stuff. And I want to be able to tour for as long as I can, you know, and I see the guys that aren't taking care of themselves out there and they're not having a good time, you know? So I'm just like, I don't want to be that guy.
The job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you can't move as quickly, if you're getting tired, I mean, it's very physical. Well, yeah, and it's very physical, like everything you're doing. And it's like, if you can't do those things, it's like, is your shelf life shorter than other people? Because you can't, like, do you have to retire sooner or find something else sooner? It's like, there's so many facets to it, or whatever. Yeah. And I'll just share this with you really quickly. When I lost the weight I shouldn't say the first time, when I finally lost the weight, I went from 220 to 130. So just shrunk. And same kind of thing. I was 2 hours a day, like 1,300 calories a day, just being dumb about it. Like, just,
hey man, I did it too.
You know, though. Yeah. So I was like, just lose as much weight as fast as you can, was like my thought. Yeah. And I did. I got like, and I was still working out, so I got like shredded. It was really gross because there was like no fat. It was just gross. And I was like, I'm gonna keep this forever. Yeah. And no, you're not.
It's unrealistic. Yeah.
And then your brain starts to like misfire because
you feel bad because you had 1,400 calories instead of 1,300. Yeah. And you're like, I'm going to get fat.
Yeah, exactly. And gosh, it was so bad. And it was like that for me. And when COVID happened, it was really hard because all the gyms are closed and the grocery stores were hard. Yeah, and everyone's depressed. And so I was eating burgers and pizza and I wasn't working out. Dude. And then I lost it again, you know, I tightened back up. And then this most recently, like, this is the biggest I've been since 2016. Like, now granted, I'm got some muscle now, but I'm closing in on 200 right now, which is like, whew. So for my frame, I'm short. I'm 5'8". So like, and for anybody watching, I'm 6'1". But
yeah, 6'5".
Yeah, I'm really big. But it's not anymore. Like, now I can go have a pizza or have a burger and be fine. Because I'm like, I know I'm going to be fine because I eat really clean. I'm physically active. I don't have to
earn
worry.
it.
Yeah.
I earn it now.
I earn it, exactly.
And I'm aware that I've earned it, which is a huge difference, you know?
But there were years, to your point, where I'd eat something and I'd be like, shit, that just ruined my whole week. Yeah. You know, and it's like...
And then you spiral.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can only imagine on the road. That's a little bit different. Luckily, in the arenas and stuff, you get the catering, and so there's
always healthy choices.
Yeah, there's more options. But like, I think back to in the vans, and you're going to McDonald's every day, or if you can afford it, you might just be going and eating cheese, or like you know, back when we were doing it. Well, maybe you could tell me if I'm wrong, but it was $1 cheeseburgers and $1 chicken sandwiches.
Yeah,
so,
there was a legit $1 menu.
Yeah, so you could do it now. It's like a $10 menu, but you could. But that was the diet, like, and there wasn't a lot of room to like do anything physical. The show was your physical activity.
And if you're lucky, like the venue bar would like give you mozzarella sticks and
French fries,
stuff, you know.
And so it's like, it's hard to stay fit, and it's hard to stay, and then that does, to your point, take a huge mental hit to your mentality. And I'm a big proponent in oh my God, I lost what I was going to say. Mindset. Like, mindset is the true driver of change. Yeah. Like, you can go out and do the gym stuff. You can go eat better. But if you don't change the way you think about those things, like, you're just, to your point, you're going to be right back to
you just go right back to your old ways.
Yeah. You have
without fail.
And sometimes it takes things like that, which, by the way, I didn't get to say this. I'm sorry that your dad's going through what he's going through.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, my mom passed 3 years ago from Alzheimer's disease. So, you know, kind of going through what that's like to see a parent struggle and all that stuff. And, you know, my dad also was obese. I shouldn't say obese, sorry, Dad. He was overweight most of my life. He's in better shape than I am now. But, you know, seeing that and again, having this moment of like sitting in the doctor's chair and they're like, hey, you're pre-diabetic. If you don't change your ways, that's 30 years off your life. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm 25 at the time. I'm like,
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to be 45 or 50 and pass. Like, that's just because I like to eat, drink Dr. Pepper and eat fat food. I'm like, screw this. I remember I'm going to ask you this question too. My first diet meal, nobody watching this cares, but my first diet meal was salmon, brown rice, and like diced tomatoes. And like at the time, I'm like, ugh, like this is, but now I'm like, God, that sounds good.
Yeah, I could house that now, no problem. Now for me, like the first diet meal, I think I remember having, like at the time, it would have been the 90s or early 2000s, because I was a fat kid growing up, and I remember my mom like trying to like get me and my brother to eat more healthy. So she bought like these Myoplex like protein meal replacement packets that were awful, dude. This is before like,
especially at that time.
This is before social media, fitness influencers. So everything actually
like cookies and cream.
Yeah, exactly. So it was, I remember it was so disgusting. It was my first time tasting like protein.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Protein is awful.
It's not good. You get to a point where you diet so much and like your mindset is for the greater good that you will eat anything.
Yeah.
It does not matter.
And it starts to taste better.
Yeah. Well, just like the way I look at it now is like food is fuel, not pleasure anymore. It's like,
mindset.
It's like I don't need to feel pleasure from food. I can get that in other ways, whether it be like, a couple hours of video games or whatever,
Or get my guilty pleasure somewhere else.
Yeah. Food I can do it in a form that isn't going to affect my life or body in any way.
Exactly.
But it is hard on the road though. Like we just did Europe, but I did very well. I'm very impressed with myself going to Europe and not fucking up.
I'm impressed with you too, because Europe catering is
sweaty meats and bread, man.
It's so good.
Yeah, and it's so good.
You walk in, it's just a basket of pretzels and bread, and there's meat, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm from Germany.
Okay.
And that's like I shouldn't say it's my heritage, because I've lived here for 30 years, but every time we would go back, because I still speak it, so I would kind of translate for the guys and everything. And
so your parents both German, or was it like a military situation? Okay.
But every time we go, I'm like, I left that band, I left Zombies so I could focus on this. So I say all that because I have not been back to Germany since the last tour we did, which was last, I don't know, maybe winter, October, November timeframe. But I remember we walk in, and it's a theater, so kudos to you. You haven't been in a theater probably over there in a while, but
it's been a long time.
There was a theater called Felsenkeller. It's in Leipzig, and like you go up to the stage, and there's like 2,000 people or whatever, but then you go downstairs and there's this like whole catering section. And I'm saying this because fans of your videos love the catering section.
They love it, dude.
Because it's awesome and everybody loves food. But I mean, I'm telling you, like, it looked like a fucking painting.
Yeah.
And because everything's beautiful and everything's fresh, and then you'll finish it and you'll go do some shit or whatever. You come back, it's all
still
rebuilt.
there.
Like and you're like, what? It's just
help myself to all this.
Yeah, and they just take care of you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying obviously in the arenas like you're getting taken care of, but like this is like a theater show. Like if you were to play marquee theater, they're not gonna have dinner for you. You're gonna order burros.
Yeah. No, that is something about Europe. At all the levels I've been at in my touring career, Europe has always taken care of you food-wise.
Yeah.
Like, even at really small venues and like places where there's not a lot of like metal fans and stuff. Like, I can't remember where in Italy we were, but there was like a straight up home cooked meal for us. And I think the show was probably like 150 people max or something, They're
like, we want to take care of you.
Yeah. Just pasta and, antipasta and everything you could really want. It was like, this is sick.
Yeah, thank you.
Whoa. Well, I needed this.
Yeah, I remember we landed, this last tour we landed, and we're at the Airbnb, and it's like, because the time difference and the flights are brutal, but we get there and it's like, I don't know, 10 at night, and we're walking the street trying to find anything open, because they also close a lot of the shops early.
Yeah. And
And this guy, who we don't know who he is, but he's standing outside this restaurant. He's like, are you guys in a band? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, come inside, we'll feed you. And I'm like, cool. So we go in there, and it turns out to be the owner of the restaurant. And he's because you're probably like, why the fuck did you go in there? But it turns out to be the owner, and he just starts bringing us plates of food.
Hell yeah.
And he gives us shots and all kinds of stuff. And like, we obviously paid, but it was like I would guess normally $400 or $500 American. It was like €100.
Hell yeah.
And
You
I'm
looked
like,
it up.
this is the shit. Like, this is cool. So like, I'm just saying European tours. Now I haven't toured at the arena level, but European tours for me are like, now I'm
they're fun. They're fun. But like at this point, like I've gone so many times at this point that like, it's not that I don't look forward to Europe. I just don't look forward to what comes along with being in a foreign country for a month to 2 months, you know, like dealing with
country.
So like
so different.
Dealing with the time difference at home and just like Wi-Fi not being good really, and air conditioning not being existent in some places. It's just like no ice.
Yeah.
I'm like, just get me.
And do you want sparkling water or regular water?
You have to like preface still. Still water, please.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love sparkling water.
So, yeah, I didn't know I liked it until I went back.
Same. They have different levels of bubbles there. But yeah, no, I mean, I love Europe. Don't get me wrong. I love the travel aspect of touring, but there's like, I was in Europe November into December, and then I was in Europe just now for a month, and I'm like, I don't want to fly international for a while.
Yeah.
Like, please.
We're getting close on time here, guys. Believe it or not, I do not own this fancy space. I booked it so we could have a cool place to sit. So we are getting close on time. So to be respectful of your time and this place, two more things. The first one is, we know we've got YouTube. We can check. I mean, if you don't know Matt's YouTube, just get with it already. But I'll link it in here so you can check it out. It's seriously some of the coolest videos on the platform, and it reconnected us and after 12, 13 years. So like, such a cool thing. But also drum teching for Falling in Reverse, as well as other bands that need a drum tech. That's also there. But what else are you working on? What else is going on in your mind? Or just, even if it's included in that, what's coming up so they can kind of stay in tune with you?
Well, depending on when this video comes out, you guys have a few more festival videos to look forward to, where like I leave in a couple days from today for Incarceration. We're headlining. So we'll have a video for that. Upheavals after that. We'll have a video for Upheaval. And then a US tour happens. So I'll be out with Falling in Reverse all August and September. So check the dates, and maybe I'll wave to you from the stage during changeover. And then not much. My head's in the touring game right now. You know, I'm going to keep making videos and try and make them different. I'm incorporating different cameras to try and make it more than just a POV. So I'm always trying to think of ways to do that. Merch should come out this year. I genuinely don't know how to do it. So that's why it hasn't come out yet.
I'll send you some stuff after
Okay.
this.
Yeah. And it's daunting to me. I'm like scared to do merch.
Dude, I just launched mine. This, by the way, got to plug myself, Behind the Kit t-shirts.
Cool.
There's actually a platform in YouTube that makes it so much easier.
Okay.
When I passed into the monetization, it opened up all this crap. And
as long as I can make it, because I'm like big and specific on my clothing. Like, I want it to be quality, and I want it to be something I would wear, which might not be the best way to approach merch you're selling to mass amounts of people, but
I think so.
That's how I am.
Like, you got to stand by your stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and then people like you. So I couldn't agree more. Like this shirt is, I'm not selling it. This literally just put it on to come here, so I didn't get to try it before. But this is actually extremely comfortable.
Hell yeah.
Which I was like not sure what was going to be the case, but it's awesome.
Yeah, I just want it. I want it to be able. You throw it in the washer, you throw it in the dryer, and it's not like an H&M shirt where it just disintegrates.
And all the
I want people to buy something and over time maybe it looks vintage at the end, but it holds up like an old T-shirt. So.
Yeah. But okay, so speed round. Okay, so gun to your head. Just first thing that comes to your mind, and nobody can be offended by this. This is just the first thing that comes to your mind. It doesn't mean that you might not want to change his answer later. I say that because sometimes it's like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
What is your favorite venue to spend time at?
The New Hampshire one. What's it called? Oh my God. The one that has the amazing catering and the mini golf and the pool and all that stuff. What is it called? Oh my God. Let's just say Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Red Rocks.
Okay. And I'll tag that one in there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember watching the video. I was like, God, I want to be there.
I couldn't remember the name of it to save my life. I know it's in New Hampshire though.
All right, I'm going to try to keep it to 4. Usually I go too long. So second one, of all of Luke's gear, what do you think, and it's a weird question, but what do you think is the most crucial when it comes to his overall sound?
Head choice. It's the thick P4s and the P77 for a really poppy ass snare. Yeah.
And the cowbell.
Yeah. And that, of course. The cowbell stand actually is really the one.
Yeah.
Doing
There's a microphone like on it, isn't it?
2 of them. Yeah. Stack in China.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. Third one, in your Pelican case, what is something that you cannot leave home and go on tour without it? Like it has to be in there.
My Ziploc bag of drum keys. Plain and simple. I could do a whole tour with just a drum key.
Yeah. It's funny. Really quick, you turned me on to snare weight. I'd never heard of them before. And now I have one in every single stick bag, just in case. Because I'm like, if you have a drum key and a snare weight, you're probably good. Yeah. And then rock blocks, but that's a different thing. Okay. Last one. If you were to look back on early days playing in your parents' house to right now, today, you're about to go on tour and play I can never say incarceration.
Incarceration.
I can't say that. I don't know why. I have all these tattoos and I can't say it. What is one word the first word that comes to mind when you think about all that time?
Perseverance, I guess. Yeah. Just staying true to the craft and trying my hardest and doing my best, all the time, I always try and do my best no matter what I'm doing. Anything. Could be driving good on the way here,
Absolutely. And I think that with 2.5 minutes left, what I'll say is that's the name of the game of all this stuff. Like we talked about consistency, maturity, professionalism, all those things. But at the end of the day, all those things mean nothing if you quit. So it's perseverance. It's not giving up. It's chasing the dream. And if you have, doing the best job you can. Really, truly though, not like
I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, like doing truly the best you can. And it's okay if you still fuck up, because if you're doing the best you can, you fuck up, then you're going to learn. Yeah. But here's what I'll say, because I have so much more I want to talk about. But here's what I'll say is, we'll probably have to do a part 2 of this. I say this to everyone because I always run out of time. But this has been awesome. We got to reconnect after almost 15 years.
Yeah, over a decade.
And this has been so much fun. Again, we were just talking about how 2 hours have passed and we didn't even really realize it.
Didn't even notice it.
And I just want to say thank you. You drove all the way up here to meet me, spent some time. You've got a really busy schedule. So I just really appreciate the time.
Of course, man.
And it's getting to hang out again.
Yeah.
And when this goes up, I will include any of the videos that have released that we just talked about in between.
Okay, cool.
So that way you guys can go check it out. Hopefully we'll have merch by then. We can link to that.
I do have a Patreon though, so you can sign up to that for extra content and early releases. Uncensored, by the way, too.
Yes. So I'll put that in there too. He is my inspiration for Patreon. I don't have any patrons yet, but the way you do it is a really smart way of doing it. But with that, we're at time. So I just want to say thank you again. And we'll do a part 2.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you. I look like a child. I'm like swinging my legs.
Yeah.